It's the Green Rush Nation podcast. I just had the bluest dream that you've ever seen, and I can't believe that shit was green, cause it hit so clean, and my history is a mystery. I don't give a fuck, I just hit the tree on the 5th degree. We don't pit for free. If you don't got 5 shit, get up and leave. It's the Green Rush Nation podcast. Yo, what's going on, guys? We're back with another episode of the Green Rush Nation podcast, the highest podcast in the world. Today we have 2 very special guests. They're competing with an industry that I've never personally seen in this industry. We have Mark and Steve from Tag Nation Harvest Bags. What's going on, guys? We appreciate you guys coming out. How was the travels in? Pretty good?
Yeah, I mean, I can't complain. We had a delivery before this, so, kill 2 birds with one stone.
There you go. Set it up, coordinate it. I know it's always a trip to come up into the valley. I hear it from everybody. Right. But, this is where we're at, so we got to make it work.
No, absolutely.
Where are you guys located out of?
Downtown LA.
Oh, beautiful. District, yep. So you're not too far, but if you hit the wrong lick of traffic, it'll feel like the longest ride of your life. So here on the Green Rush Nation podcast, we don't want to just know about your ventures in the business, but we want to know about your venture personally a little bit.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to take you guys back a little bit. If you remember the first time you ever had an encounter with marijuana, what was the first time like smoking? Do you remember what you smoked out of? We'll start with you first.
Yeah, man, honestly, probably when I was in high school.
Okay.
Joint and took a few puffs, and next thing you know, I'm rolling around the ground, spinning and laughing. That's my first memory of
How old are you?
Smoking weed. I would say maybe like 15, 16 years old.
Damn. So you just got the giggles off rip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Living in NorCal, there's not much to do.
Of course. And what about you? You remember your first time?
Oh, man. I think it's a typical story. I was clean cut, and then I went to college.
Shit.
Tried everything.
I thought that was a myth, bro. I seen people going to college and then they were coming back stoners. I'm like, yo, how the fuck does that make sense?
That's me.
But that was me too, bro. I was like, oh, that's not gonna happen to me.
Right.
Went to college, became the biggest stoner, like off rip, fucking. But it was a great time to discover it. I feel like it's a very transitional point in your life. You're trying to make friends. Like, fuck, man, you smoke weed? All right, yeah, cool. Let's go smoke some weed. So you guys are born and raised out in California? Yep, you said NorCal, so what about you? You as well?
Born and raised Culver City.
Okay, wow. So right here, you're very local. Very cool. I wasn't spoiled enough to be having access to weed like you guys did, but it's cool to come out here and see the culture now and how it's developed. But so how shortly after that, like, would you say you were completely involved in marijuana?
I would say, a little here and there. When I got into college, weed was expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Buy an eighth, $50.
Shit used to be.
You buy a dub, $20. That's what.
That was the prices.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So knowing myself and always having this business mindset, it's like, okay, well, let me pick up a little bit more so I get free smoke. So I'll sell or just have homies that want to go in with me. Then I'll just give them their share, and then I have a little bit left over for myself.
Absolutely.
That's where this whole idea was like, oh my God, there's this way I could actually supplement my income. Because I'm going to college, working a waiter job. I'm like, I have no money.
Absolutely.
What else do I got to do? Well, on the side, I could actually make a little bit off of cannabis.
Yeah.
So I just started, let's say, call it so-called trapping in a sense, but on a very small scale.
Absolutely.
Like just to get free smoke.
Yeah.
Because I loved it that much.
The smart ones did that.
Yeah.
You know? It's like once you realize, oh shit, I really like this. Damn, it costs a lot of money. How can I do this and do it for free?
That was my MO.
Beautiful. So in college, that was it. You were hooked.
Free smoke.
Yep.
And then everyone loved me and everyone knew me because I had the best weed. And plus, it was in NorCal. And NorCal got weed straight from Humboldt that came down.
Beautiful.
And I didn't realize we had the best weed in the world.
What were some of that's the thing that's still a trip. Like nowadays, like we smoke the best weed in the world, bro. Like still, Didn't know we were that spoiled, until crazy.
You venture out and you go out. Whereas you're like, wait, hold on, what is this?
Yes. And I didn't realize it till I got here, really, because I always thought my weed was from Cali, And at a certain point, I confirmed that it was because I made sure I was getting it from Cali. But
there was a point though before Cali where it was like BC Bud.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Fucking at one point, Canada was killing it, bro. We went up there on a ski trip. And obviously we couldn't bring any weed with us, so we were trying to find weed up there, and we found it. And the fucking weed we found was great, man. I was like, holy shit, nice big nugs, dense, smelled great. A little leafy, but like I liked it. You know,
Got you high.
Got you high, man. Got you high.
Smoked.
And then at some point, it became SoCal.
That's it. That's it. I think it kind of just the market here, people got so good so quick, and then the environment here as well.
Sure.
Even if you fuck up a little bit, it still might come out better than it does in somewhere else,
See, I was biased because like you say SoCal, but then I thought it was always NorCal.
NorCal,
I always thought NorCal.
All right.
Until I moved down. And I saw all the different cultivators and basically it's people from, let's just say, Humboldt or wherever that gave, these entrepreneurs like the keys to the sauce. And next thing you know, I go to these cultivations, I'm seeing shit that's like freaking crazy. I'm
insane.
Like, I mean, structure, nose, I mean, everything's on point.
Every point.
So, and then when I go back to NorCal, I'm looking at, I'm like, you know what, it's if not the same. Honestly, I think SoCal got it down too.
Yeah, and culturally,
of course,
it's
this is the place you want to be.
It's the epicenter.
You don't have events like you do anywhere else. Like I even went out to Vegas, and the events just aren't the same.
Exactly.
Even just now with MJ Biz. Speaking of MJ Biz,
right.
The after parties, bro. Like some of the like, oh, you can come in, but you can't smoke. I'm like, how the fuck is this a marijuana event?
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And there's no consumption at the event itself.
That was weird, but I'm not gonna lie. I saw some consumption over there.
Okay.
I'm gonna not say and point any fingers, but I showed up late to the game, so I guess they didn't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
But that was one thing I was under the impression. I was like, oh, I can't bring any weed. No one's gonna be smoking. Goddamn. But it was cool. That was my first one. It was interesting to see like the setup, like how huge it was. I just want to touch on it real quick because before we started, you mentioned that you guys kind of got your start with this in MJ Biz. You want to just touch on that and talk about that a little bit? Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, when we first came out with the product, it was obviously the classic, and we did a very small run of like 2,000 bags because we didn't know exactly where it was going to land. Who we were going to grab. So what we did was we made these little bags with a little flyer on it that has info about the bag itself, and then we just put it in a backpack, got some tickets to MJ BizCon, and just walked the floor. Just straight walk the floor with our hoodies, t-shirts. So
you weren't vendors at the time, you just showed up to the event. Very
showed
cool.
up to the event.
Guerrilla marketing.
I like it.
Guerrilla marketing with our ape on our chest, and started walking around, and then what's loud is the back part of our shirt. It says Trap Ape Gang. So people, the moment they see the ape, they're like, oh.
That's where tag comes from.
Okay.
TAG, right?
Got you. Okay, that makes sense.
So people would see the ape, and then they like the art. They're like, oh, that's kind of cool. It looks like some kind of manga thing. Or
definitely draws you in for sure.
Right. Or some type of crypto thing. So then it draws the eyes. But then moment we pass somebody and they see the back of our shirt, they're like, hold on, wait, come over here for a second. Let me talk to you.
Yeah.
So you do pass like, no. What we do is we make harvest bags. We're flipping the game. We're taking that Band-Aid off of the whole turkey game era. For I don't know how long, decades and decades that we've been using,
Yep.
And developed a bag specifically for them because for how long has this game been illegal, especially in California?
For sure.
Right? So it's time for these cultivators to actually have a product made for them. And that's what we were doing here, where we got into the ancillary game of making a turkey bag, but flipping it and calling it a harvest bag because what do cultivators do after they cultivate?
They harvest.
Absolutely. Right. You don't put it in turkey bags.
Yeah. But to add on to that, we're not in the business of rebranding turkey bags.
Of course.
Right. So this is our own blend of material that we've researched and developed that showcases and protects the flower.
Okay.
Right.
So it's not a turkey bag.
It's not a turkey bag.
It's a brand new product.
Exactly. Because turkey bags are made for turkeys.
Yes.
Right. That's what we say.
Of course.
Right? And the requirements are completely different.
Yeah.
Turkeys go in the oven for 400 degrees, 8 hours. Right. Completely different set of requirements.
Absolutely.
Right. You want clarity. You want protection. You want that malleability to fit into a duffel bag. Like 30 packs.
Absolutely.
Like, right. Different requirements. Different solution.
There you go. Different material.
Different material.
So that was pretty cool. What kind of connections did you guys make that first MJ BizCon?
Well, people just walking the show, just coming up to us because of what we're wearing, because it was just two of us.
Of course.
Obviously everyone's trying to figure out how they could operate in this world as well as save money, and that's where we come into play. We're like, well, we make what you call a turkey bag, call it a harvest bag, and we're coming out the gates at half the cost.
Yeah.
And right then and there, for a cultivator or someone in operations, a CFO, it really rings their mind, and it, right then they're like, okay, how much is it? We tell them exactly what the price is, and then they're like, deal, bring like 1,000, 2,000. And we started off by selling a couple hundred to 1,000 to, I don't know, each brand or each cultivator, you know, and that's how we started. It was just small, like, you know, boots on the ground, just dropping off bags. Even if it was like 200 bags, 300 bags, we didn't care, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely. What was the initial response like when people started putting the weed in your bags?
I mean, it was 9 day.
9 day.
Because we would compare it, because we would just go straight to the the farm and do our demonstration. You know, the moment we'll get there, open up our bags, and pour whatever they have in their turkey bags into our bag, and then do a blind test. We're not blind test, but just look at what you're looking
real
at.
life right in front of their face.
Right in their faces. You could just see the nugs. You could see the quality of the work, you know, and that's what we tell them. Like, you guys crafted this cannabis, you know, and it's the best and top of the world. Why are you masking it with this, like,
absolutely
white hued turkey bag?
Yeah.
And then right when they see it in our bag, it's sold.
I will say they're much clearer than a turkey bag. I've seen many distros, a lot of them use turkey bags. Interesting thing about Vegas is they didn't use turkey bags out there. They had big ass jars, pound jars.
Yep.
I don't know if that's corporation things.
Different laws.
But it was weird for me to see that. But cool, nonetheless. But so seeing the first real life, like my experience with your bags, I had a friend come through who like was making a sale. And I looked at his bags and I'm like, damn, bro. I was like, those bags are fucking shot, you know? I was like, you should try these bags right here. And it took a little bit of convincing, you know? He's like, why? Yeah, they're fucking in bags, bro. Who gives a fuck? I'm like, just for you, like, when you show your customer the bags, they're going to have to open them to see it. Before they could even do it, boom. I was like, just put it in one bag. He put it in one bag, ended up changing them all. He's like, wow, it looks so much better. I think it helped him with his sale as well. So shout out to that.
Yeah. That's what we always say, right? We always say eyes first, nose second.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. You never know what you want to smell if it doesn't look good. And if you can't see it, then you're just going to have to smell everything. So, you know? But where did you guys start? Were you guys always in the industry of bags, or did you guys have a pass in the cannabis before?
Yeah. Well, I mean, prior to going into the ancillary market, you know, my business partner, Mark, over here, took me under his wing because he had a pretty, another, we could call it ancillary too, because it was a device. He literally planned to develop a device called the Roach. It was literally a pencil drawing on a napkin to going into 300 different dispensaries, 7 states, you know. I mean,
did you show them the napkin? Like, this is what we're going to get, guys.
Yeah, but I mean, it was already all done. You know, he just needs some help, and basically, we have mutual friends, and I was working in the corporate world, working in tech, and I was like, you know what, I love cannabis, and there's a bigger opportunity here. So I talked to my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife.
Beautiful,
Hey,
congrats.
Thank you. And I was like, hey, you know, I have this great opportunity. You know, I think I'm gonna move over, and I'm gonna put my forces in this and see where it goes. And plus, the benefit of this is that the office is literally like 5 steps away. So it was in the art district.
From your condo.
Yeah, it was like 5 steps from my condo, you know. So I was like, you know what? Instead of me driving to Marindale every morning from downtown, I could just walk 5 steps and I'm at the office. I'm just gonna take this. I'm gonna go with it. And then, you know, working with him, I got to learn so much. You know, he's literally probably the best CEO I ever worked with. And
that's great.
I've gained so much, and here I am today. You know, running my own business with him. But prior to that, it was Roach, and Roach got into a lot of dispensary, you know, just working with dispensaries, working with brands, and just throwing shows. We threw shows, you know.
Absolutely.
We had a platform, and because it was COVID, everything was shut down. We invited people because we had space. We would call it Free Thinkers, and we would throw shows, whether it be with Madzilla or who was it, Wonder Brett Feldman. We would do little shows to kind of elevate the cannabis industry, to not erase us, because one day, like I told you before, like Pfizer or whoever, you know, once it legalizes, they're gonna erase us. So we're like, hey, let's build a show where we
can never be erased.
Showcase the history of who created demand. You know, who created this whole this whole culture of cannabis.
Absolutely.
You know? And it was us, like yourself. You know.
Yeah. You know, it's a trip for me too. Like, I'm pretty new to the game, so I came in with like the legal market kind of already being established and the culture being kind of based around that out here. You know, the events are more legal sided,
Sure.
and obviously there's the black market side and the trap side, which those events are fun and cool too. But that's what I know. You know, I know both sides of it. I never knew just the Prop 215 days or whatever it was or where it came from. So to me at first, like, it didn't make any sense why anyone was upset about anything, you know? But then I look back and like see how much shit has changed over the years. And like you said, now we're like, oh shit, we're going to get erased. That's how they felt before, like, you know? So it's like, damn, no wonder everyone has such strong feelings and opinions on the culture per se, you know? So I was like, wow. But I kind of just, like I said, I came in at the legal point. So I am for the legal market, you know, obviously, because people like yourselves, people like everyone who's really investing their time and their resources and their money to do it the right way. I see a certain respect for that. Not saying that I don't respect anyone. If you're hustling out here, bro, I respect it. But there's just, this is a different market, you know? So it's cool to see, but it's also scary to think that one day it will be erased as well, you know?
But that's why we had a show that he coined called Free Thinkers to kind of inform people that cannabis is not something that you just smoke to get high. But there's a whole industry. It's you know, you got payroll, you got HR, you got it's a whole company. You know, that people thought that, oh no, this is just a trap business. This is just illegal. You know, this is something that you don't do. You know, you go to school for being a doctor, lawyer, whatever. But I'm like, you know what? There's so many different things in the cannabis industry where you can be a doctor, you can be a scientist, you can be a lawyer for a cannabis company. There's a lot of opportunity here.
Hey, man, I just sat down with the Pot Brothers at law. And if you don't think they're sharp because they smoke, then you're just going to lose your case. I don't know.
Exactly.
You know? But it's really cool to see, like, I haven't met a lazy person in this industry yet, you know? Everyone is super hardworking and very innovative, you know? This is a creative industry. I would even compare it to like the music industry, how creative it is, you know, because people are always coming up with logos, designs, events, ideas. So it's cool to see people put it into action and then it come to life.
You know, and to touch on that point, I think the cool thing about legalization, right? And I go way back from the pre-ICO days. So having that reform where California went rec, you know, and now that it's more legal, it did open a lot of doors for like ancillary, you know, stuff like this.
Absolutely.
Like you were saying that, you know, we need cannabis attorneys, right? We need cannabis accountants, right? And we need to stop using Band-Aids, like
cannabis tech.
You know, exactly. Like, you know, like distros or like, you know, those platforms, right? So, I mean, you know, legalization did afford us this opportunity where we're like, you know, let's take something that people have been using like a Band-Aid forever, using a turkey bag, you know, it worked. You know, it worked great for decades.
Of course.
You know, but it's, you know, and we saw that opportunity and said, you know what, let's elevate the game.
Absolutely. And we need people like that. You know, we can't stay the same forever. Right. Especially if we're going to get wiped out. We might as well really develop it as far as we can go so that when you do, hopefully there'll be a spot for you, you know, in the Pfizer world or whoever decides to step in.
Coors Light.
Coors Light, yeah, exactly. Budweiser. What kind of obstacles did you guys face when starting this brand?
I think the whole when a cultivator is stuck to their ways, you know, when you're doing things and you're making something and it's the best in the world and nothing's really hurting you, you know, it's hard for you to even change that part of your SOP. You know, we get it. You know, it's like why we're just two people just trying to come into the game, trying to help and elevate and save you money, but then they're thinking like, well, I really don't need to save money, and like honestly, like everything works fine, you know.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. So those are one of the obstacles I remember just trying to face and trying to just tell them like, hey, you know, I understand that you feel this way, but you know, at the end of the day, you might not need to save money, but maybe you might need to in the future. And what if that money could be used for, let's just say, your employees? I don't know, throw a holiday party. I don't know, just reinvest it back into your company. You know?
Who couldn't use more money though? You know,
but
especially as a business in this industry, shit, we could use every penny.
But like when packs were like $4,000, like, you know, they're like, oh, whatever.
Of course,
it works, right?
So have you seen more of a demand now that packs prices have dropped?
Oh, absolutally,
for sure. So now that's the sale. Like, hey, we're half the price. Exactly. We can save you money.
Right. So cool. I mean, back in the days, true livery bags are $1 or something,
right.
or something. You know?
Yeah.
But
Turkey bags are expensive.
No, they are. They're
right?
not cheap unless
like,
you're buying them in super bulk. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. But either way, it still adds up. Every penny adds up.
Of course.
And where do you see like the industry going for you guys, say 5-10 years down the line?
Well, I mean, with the current climate of how the industry is right now, I mean, we're seeing like the small mom and pop cultivations kind of just giving up, you know, and the bigger ones just, you know, taking them over.
This year has been a year, man.
Brutal.
A year.
Brutal.
Yeah,
It has.
it's been brutal. I'm hoping for some reform, some change, especially with the, you know, once we deschedule, you know, cannabis and there's more there's more easier ways, especially in taxes with the 280.
Yeah.
If we could get that resolved, I think there'd be more players in the game and it would be easier. But
Absolutely.
Right now, it just sucks to be a cannabis business legally.
Yeah. I mean, people that are in other businesses that may want to invest, maybe look at it right now and be like, it's not worth it yet, you know? Just because of the headaches, bro. Nobody wants to deal with these headaches. So the people that are in it right now, they're the troopers, you know, they're trooping it out. But
a lot of red tape.
Oh, 100%. It's a shame. Like this is the part where I think it's a shame. I've seen like a lot of companies get bought out and shops closed this year, you know? But
yeah, we've seen it ourselves, you know,
Yeah.
clients that we've had for the past 2.5 years, they close up shop and then they're moving to different states because there's bigger opportunities. Like
exactly.
one of our clients moved over to New Jersey because they're able to sell a disty card of 1 gram for $60.
Shit. Yeah.
You know, you could buy one over here in California for 20. So
100%.
their margins are super thin.
100%.
So what are they doing? Well, they're businessmen too, so they just close operations, they move out, you know? And then I think they're going to wait until California changes or just the laws of cannabis changes and then move back to the Golden State.
Absolutely.
You know, we've even seen some of our Hydra stores. We've lost clients that we've had for years.
Wow.
They're closing up too.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And are you guys mainly based in California or do you have operations, like do you sell to other states as well?
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. We do go to other states. It's funny because our bags land everywhere for some reason, and next thing you know, people just Google the ape. They take an ape. You know,
Getting calls.
Yeah, we get calls like, hey, we how do we get a hold of how do we get these bags over? You know, and then normally we would try to work with their Hydra stores in the state, but then because they're a little bit smaller, you know, we're like, okay, we'll just ship you something, but it's going to cost you a little bit more because we're going to tack on a little bit of shipping fee,
of course,
but we're going to eat most of the cost and they still pay it, you know, and it's still at the end of the day, it's still a fraction of the cost of what they pay with a turkey bag.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
You know what the funny thing is that like we just happened to be in LA, and it was a lucky thing for us because you know people come here to buy, right? Somehow it lands in all these places. And we get hit up on like Instagram, whatever.
That
all
must be
day.
cool, man.
No,
you know what that must be like, honestly? I don't know if you remember those like dollar bills that had the follow George. That must be like that kind of feeling, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the genius of Mark over here. Like, we could have made a harvest bag without the label on it, you know? But we decided to make it with the label on it and put our monkey on it because the monkey was the power symbol for us, you know? And
for sure.
Now that we have over 1 million bags out in circulation, you know, if not used and thrown away now, 1 million people seen that monkey, you know? So you Google it, you take a picture of it, our SEO's on point, you know?
Absolutely.
Thanks again to one of my best coders over here.
But we've seen, you know, like people, like they DM us from like, you know, Germany, Amsterdam.
I was going to ask if it made it to other countries. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we saw your bag. It cured the best when it landed. I'm like, I don't want to hear all that, but
But, you know, that's cool. That's cool because it's not your product that's in the bag. Your product is the bag, so you can't even get in trouble.
Exactly.
People also hit us up. Sometimes I'll throw up on our IG every time I go to a farm. If I see my bag, I'm like a proud daddy. I'm just taking videos of my bags. The product's not even mine, but then I'll get comments on or messages on my IG like, "Hey, what's the ticket? What's it?" I'm like, I don't know, man.
No, you got to look at the bag.
Yeah,
we're looking at the bag.
bag.
We're not looking at the flower.
The ticket is like, you know, whatever it costs, you know, like 45, 50 cents, you know, but But in terms of the product,
that would be hilarious if people just hit you and you don't clarify. What's a ticket? 50 cents.
We're coming now. Full box. No, but yeah. So then what was cool is if someone does ask us, you know, like, hey, where can we get that product? We just tell them, well, this is, let's just say, Maven Genetics. You could, you know,
absolutely.
If you have your license, get your license, go to Maven Genetics. This is what they cultivate.
Shout out to Maven, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm sure their weed looks great in your bags.
And absolutely love from them. They're one of our very first clients, and it's honestly because of them that we're sitting here today.
Absolutely.
With their whole staff and, you know, Melon and especially Shane too. Like Shane,
yeah.
You know, every time we go around with Shane, I swear he's like a celebrity.
That's how I met you guys, man.
Yeah,
he was out here. He's like, you got to meet these guys. And that was like right off rip. That was like one of my first events ever. So I was like, this is cool shit. And I didn't even know these existed. I had just like seen my first couple of distros and grows, and I'm like, damn, these bags are fucking way better.
Yeah.
But definitely cool.
Yeah, they let us because they were using our bags. We asked them like, hey, we need to shoot like a commercial and stuff. Do you mind if we use your facility? And they were just open arms, and that's when we actually met Shane. And that day, from that day on, you know, it's just been love, and now we're like family.
That's great.
Every time we go to a show or wherever it is, I mean, everyone knows who he is. You know, and next thing you know, we're meeting like 15, 20, 100 people like left and right. I can't keep up, you know, and you know he's the biggest I don't know, like proponent of our bags. He loves it, and he loves us, and without them I don't think we would exist.
Hey,
you know?
You always have that one person, you know.
And they also do grow one of the best. They're the most craft cannabis.
I would agree.
Right? So
I would agree.
Their product stands out in our bags.
Oh, for sure.
So
good weed in a good bag. It's a great recipe.
All right.
Shit, I did have a question. Oh, so what has been like some of the most fun times? What's the most memorable experiences you guys have had over the last couple years with this business?
Interesting question.
Yeah.
It's a fun industry. That's why I have to ask. So I'm sure you guys got some stories.
What's a good one? Let's see. How about the time when we got to meet? We got to meet a lot of celebrities here and there. You know, the last MJ BizCon, obviously I was with Shane.
Okay.
And one of Shane's best friends, his name is Joe Schilling. He's like, they call him Stitch 'em Up Joe. He's like this crazy boxer. He's also a coach, and he coaches a lot of the heavyweight UFC fighters.
Okay.
And this was during MJ BizCon last year, and I think he called me. He was like, "Hey, meet us up in at the Cosmo. We're at the barbershop." And I'm thinking like, "Well, you can get a haircut?" He's like, "No. It's like a speakeasy type of thing." I'm like, "All right." Joe's getting us in. The moment we get in, we're sitting with Jake Shields and Nate Diaz, and I'm like,
"Damn."
Yeah. I'm like, Mark. This guy from Stockton right here.
Hell yeah.
You know, he's UFC heavyweight guy right here. You know, and cool as fuck. There's like, "Hey, you want to take a shot? You want to smoke?" You know, we're just hanging out and kicking it. You know, going to the clubs, strip clubs too. It was just you know the whole MJ BizCon thing. I think who was it? Holotips was throwing like a party at the Hardings or something.
I just went to the Holotips. They're one at this MJ BizCon.
Yeah, they throw some of that shit, but. Yeah. I mean, the lines were long. There's no way we were just gonna walk in there and get in there. It was packed. Yeah. But because we were with Nate and Jake Shields,
boom.
It was just easy access, and you know, and I felt big too. I was like, I'll beat up anybody today.
I'll talk shit.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's funny as hell.
Yeah, so that was probably one of my favorite memories, you know. And then again, you know, I mean, just working. We worked with so many people, like even Snoop Dogg for a little bit. But
Julian?
Mentor? Yeah, no. Cordell.
Okay.
Yeah. And we worked with Cordell for a little bit, but then his mentor, I'm blanking right now.
Russell.
Yeah, Russell Simmons.
We got to meet him.
Okay, dope.
Yeah. We went to go meet up Cordell just to talk some business, and the next thing you know, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm at my mentor's house. So if you want to come through, if you don't mind like putting a little package together for my mentor too." I was like, "Okay, like who's your mentor?" He's like, Russell Simmons. Like, Mr. Russell Simmons. He was like, yeah. I was like, call him. I was like, dude, we're gonna go see Russell Simmons, man.
Like, let's go.
You know, I'm gonna start wearing. I gotta wear my Adidas.
This is LA shit though.
It's
you know,
LA,
this
you
is
know?
LA shit.
Because me coming from small town Sacramento, you don't see celebrities like this. You know, so
growing up in New York, I didn't even see celebrities like this. So coming out here. and you just run into them at the grocery store. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, this is LA, bro. Speaking of Russell Simmons, we were downtown and we were filming our first pod with OG Louie. I don't know if you guys know him, but he was like, yo, there's someone pulling up I want you to meet. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, whatever, I'm always down to meet somebody. And then sure as shit, it was his son. It was one of his sons. And he was from New York too. So like that was the coolest thing. Like one of my biggest connections has actually been like my New York connection out here because everyone's from somewhere else.
Yeah, it's a melting pot.
So even when he pulled up, this guy that I fucking used to watch on TV growing up on the reality TV show, we start chopping it up on some hometown shit. He's like, oh, where you from? I'm like, New York. He's like, where in New York? I'm like, College Point. He's like, oh, I used to go to the fucking movie theater in the bowling alley right there. Damn, and I'm like, all right, this guy's not fucking lying, because like that's crazy. But who would have thought like the kid that I watched on TV chilled in the same places essentially that I was hanging out, Right. So I was like, damn, but this shit only happens in LA. And shout out to LA for that because there is so much opportunity in that sense. You just got to be ready to jump on it,
Right.
So I know you guys talked about you have a new product. You have one of the classic bags and a new thing that you rolled out. You want to just discuss the difference?
Yeah. So the classic was our origin story, like I told you before. It's our first iteration of what we called our harvest bag. But through time and time with our clients, we're all about trying to refine ourselves, and we're always trying to take their feedback and trying to figure out how can we be better. Yeah, that's what I always wanted to work on with my clients, and I think one of the main obstacles was that it was too thick, and the reason
it felt thick.
It felt thick, and we when we first designed it, we were thinking in like thickness because we don't want stems and whatever poking through. Of course, that compromises your flower.
You lose a pound, that's not good either.
So we stuck with the thickness with clarity, and we went with it. But then some of our clients were telling me, "Oh man, my fingers are my people that are tying the bags, their hands are hurting." I'm like, "All right, you know what? It seems like it's a pretty big concern. So let's go back to the lab and figure out like a different material, how it can be more malleable, something that's easier to tie, something closely similar to a turkey bag because turkey bags are super easy.
Of course.
So we went back about 6 months and came up with a new product called the Easy Tie, and we just launched it early this year. We're still trying to get a feel, but literally after everyone has used it, about 90% of our clients moved over.
Right. Okay, so it's had a good reception.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I think it was like a lot of the corporate cultivations, right? When they're doing, they're going through 10,000 pounds a month, right? And then they were like, oh, I can see how that's slows them down.
Of course,
right?
Yeah.
So
no, that makes sense. An operation of that scale, but sounds like most of your customers switched over. Are you guys going to completely use the new bag, or are you still going to have the option for the classic as well?
So initially, we told everybody that we're going to can the classic because people said it was too hard to tie, and we thought that this was maybe this was just our first version, just like any car, you come out with the first version. Now you have cars that are electric, right? So
absolutely.
We're thinking, okay, maybe we'll just can this one and we'll use this one because the majority of our clients like this one.
Yeah.
Next thing you
so
know,
this was 2021, and this is the 2023 model. You want the 2023 model?
Exactly.
But as soon as we announced that we're discontinuing that,
oh my gosh, right. I got hit on my IG.
So you sell out,
yeah. That's when I made the clear decision, because in the beginning a lot of people were like, oh man, we really liked it, we really like the clarity. Oh, honestly, we don't want the Easy Tie because it's not as clear as it as your first harvest bag. I'm like, but it's still clearer than a turkey bag. He's like, but still, we want the clarity, and like people love and they want to be different. They just want to have that bag appeal. I'm like, okay, well, let me think about it. But when one of our pretty good clients, Cultivillains. They're up in like Mid-Cal, like NorCal area, Stockton or something like that. Never met them, but then they grow some crazy genetics. I mean, it's fire. It looks crazy, and then they love using this bag. We sent them a sample, and then they literally shot me down and said, you know what? Why are you selling out on us?
Damn.
Why are you canceling you guys came out through the gates because you were thicker, you were clearer, and then now you're going back with something not as clear as that, but and something that's tieable, it's literally like a turkey bag. I was like, well, honestly, that's what the people wanted, you know. And like, but he's like, you know what? That's pretty much selling out, bro. And the moment I heard the sellout part, I was like, it got to me. I was like, you know, Mark, no, we can't do this to the people, man. We're here for the people. So that's why we decided to bring it back. And so I have a good like container coming in the next couple of weeks.
Great.
Which I had a really. When did we order it? Like back in October. Yeah.
See, so at first when you said it, it sounded almost like some of your clients switched over to the other bags, and then when you told them you were not going to have the other bags, they were like, damn. But what it actually sounded like was you had someone who really loved this bag. Yeah. It was like, why the fuck are you changing it?
Yep. Exactly.
So that's interesting. But hey, you know, that's a customer demand and need as well, you know?
Yeah.
So it makes sense to keep it around. Damn, you really just have to have something for everybody. But I wanted to ask since the beginning, where did the name and the logo come for this? I think that might be a question for you.
I don't know. Maybe you can answer that.
Shoot. So let's say the logo came first, I would say.
Okay.
Right? The ape came first. And in the beginning, in like 2020, before, not 2020, 2021, was it? It was when crypto was doing huge. I mean, I think Bitcoin was at the 60,000 mark.
Wow, yeah. Those are fun days.
I mean, now 60,000 means like nothing. You know, people we lose a lot of money right now. But back then, 60,000 on Bitcoin, when it shot up that much, everyone was like hyped up on Bitcoin. And, you know, we kind of follow the path of like seeing these little digital tokens called, was it ERC20, where you would have like a...
the NFTs?
The NFTs. So we're like, you know what, maybe if because we know cannabis, why don't we, you know, create a NFT or something and maybe use that to throw our events again or something. And so
that's where I really thought the NFTs had something going. I was like, not just the artwork, but the fact that it's your ticket to these events. Like that shit was cool.
Yep. Yeah. So with that involved, we had a team for this whole NFT project. You know, one of my homies, Reggie, he was the one that actually drew the ape. So everything was in-house. Everything we do is always in-house, from packaging all the way down to even the drawing of the ape. He drew the ape. We refined it with them, and then from that came the name. We're like, well, so what's the company name going to be? You know, so I think was it you or someone decided to call it like Trap Ape Gang or Trap Kings first, you know, but then it was just kind of corny. I was like, no, I don't want to be Trap Kings, you know, or and then the whole ape. We had to bring the ape involved, and then we decided with Trap Ape Gang. So we were Trap Ape Gang before Tag Nation even existed, or this harvest wagon business.
Gotcha.
Because we were this whole let's say this NFT that we're trying to launch. But then
it was like an NFT gated members club where you got discounts too. That was the concept.
Gotcha. That's cool. It's a cool concept.
But then like February hit and then Bitcoin shot down to like 14,000 or 20,000, you know? So then I'm not going to be one of those rug pullers that you hear on the news all day. So I was like, you know what? We're just going to shelf this and we're just going to go to a different route. So we had to pivot from going into that crypto world to going into the ancillary game because at that point we're like, what do we know? We know cannabis, you know? So we're not going to get back into the brand, you know, and chase that brand game because there's so many things on the shelf. But what's there on the other side, the ancillary side? So, you know, we'll go to like friends of farms, whatever, and see packs everywhere, and we'll touch turkey bags and decided one day, like, you know what, like, is anyone doing anything in the turkey game business? And how much is a turkey bag these days? They're like $1 to 80 cents, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe if we do something to elevate this part of the industry. So that's where.
And we were already deep in like the manufacturing game in China. For manufacturing vape parts. And all that, so.
Right.
Gotcha.
So that all those connections we put together and then developed our own nylon composite, which was this classic bag right here, and now the new Easy Tie that we have.
Very cool. Very cool. And I know success is different for everybody. So like as a bag brand, what defines success for you guys?
You know, we were just talking over lunch that, you know, if you were to show us our current client list, I mean, it's you know, we're at a place where we have like our dream list of clients.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
It's just unfortunate where the industry's at right now.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that, you know, if you know, like right now, like the small town, you know, like the people that grow in the rooms or the townhouses, like they're all gone.
Oh yeah.
Right. So it became like this whole corporate world essentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, I forgot what I was talking about.
Yeah. But it definitely it's gotten more corporate, but there is places that are way more corporate than it is here.
Sure.
You know, for example, like Vegas, I couldn't believe just how corporate it was. You know, but do you think that's beneficial, or do you think that's like not beneficial for the culture?
You know, I think we've seen both sides. We've seen like the maiden side, where it's like it went from like, you know, from passion to a brand, and now they have to be corporate.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then we have some clients that are just corporate, more like corporate greed kind of corporate.
Of course.
Just massive.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So we see both sides.
Interesting. And I know you did mention that you manufacture in China. Do you guys have your own spot, or do you have like a partner that you guys work with?
We have a partner that we.
Very cool. Have you guys visited the facility out there? Awesome. Very cool. What is that like? And how are they like knowledgeable about cannabis out there?
You know, I don't think they don't like talking about it directly.
Gotcha.
You know, but you know, so like our bags, it's like it has to be medical grade material. It has to be food safe. You know, and so I mean they understand, right? But but I think the biggest struggle was for them to understand that what goes in the bags, right, is, you know, let's say it's like, you know, like $1,200, you know, which is like kind of insane. Like they're thinking like broccoli, you know. I'm like
different prices, pound of broccoli versus a pound of weed.
Of course, of course.
So I'm like, so the bag has to be clear, it has to work, it has to be the same size, it has to have the same weight, you know. And they're like, why? It's just a bag, you know. But like, imagine putting like $3,000 in the bag, you know.
Yeah. So it took them a little bit to understand that part of it.
Right.
Interesting.
Why our specs are so, you know, strict.
It makes sense. Shit, I had it. It flew right out of my head. It was a great question. Damn. Give me a second. It'll come back. Scroll up a little. I think it might have been something up. Oh, yes. Okay. So, people may not even know that there's another option than a turkey bag. So for maybe someone that's never heard of you guys, what's one or two highlight things that you would want them to know, like say they're watching this right now?
Eyes first, no second, man. Like clarity matters, you know, and protect your investment. And that's basically your and don't be a turkey.
Don't be a turkey.
Absolutely.
Don't be a fucking turkey. And stop using these damn turkey bags, you know? Like, support people in the industry and stop supporting, I don't know, big corporate.
Absolutely. I think that's a great thing to end on, honestly. Where can they find you guys on social media? Do you have social medias?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. It's tag.nation.official is our IG. And then our website is just trapapegang.com.
Beautiful. And damn, where do you got any events coming up? We're gonna launch this in 2026. So if you want to talk about anything you got coming on in this coming year.
Yeah, this new coming year, you know, big shout out to the network group and Shay and Nam and all them, you know.
High Supply show's coming up.
Yeah. So that's gonna be you know, a show for us, because usually the network shows, and we still attend because all of our clients are there. You know? Of course. But this show is gonna be more highlighting like someone like a MJ BizCon. Supply. So MJ BizCon in LA in a sense, you know, but you know, from the network group. And I mean, I'm sure. I think you guys were at the network.
Absolutely, we're going to be at the High Supply show as well.
Yeah, that network show this past September, was it? Wow, that
honestly, cracking. That was crazy. Yeah, especially the like everything about it, the location, the panels, the people that were there.
So well done.
It was great. It was great. Super excited to see what they have coming in April.
That gave me a pulse back into the industry because we went to Hall of Flowers a week before, and it was like. A little questionable, but
I heard that.
Yeah, it was questionable, you know. But just knowing how the industry is, you know, I was like, okay, this is how it is. But went to the network show, and it was cracking. Cracking. And then the after party that who was it, the Nameless or
yes sir,
and the high rise people threw, and it was like freaking was it?
That was the culture, man.
Originals, yeah. Open bar, freaking tequila. I mean, I got lit. I mean, I sold bags too. You know,
hell yeah.
But I was.
What's a better time to go out when everyone's feeling good, you
right?
know?
Everyone's there. All the homies are there. Top Shelf is there. You know, like
absolutely. Hell yeah. Well, I think it's a hell of a product. I would love to see where you guys are in 5 to 10 years because I think you guys are going to revolutionize the game. I think we're going to see a lot more tag bags than we do turkey bags. I don't even think people are going to know what turkey bags are at some point. They'll be like, what the fuck? We used to use those?
That's the dream.
Exactly.
Let's erase that part of the industry.
Right?
You know?
Deleted.
Yep.
Well, we appreciate your time and your energy, and thank you for coming and sharing your story on our platform.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for today's episode. Tell your mother, your brother, your sister, whoever needs to know. We appreciate all the support this far. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
I just had the bluest dream that you've ever seen, and I can't believe that shit was green, cause it hits so clean, and my history is a mystery. I don't give a fuck, I just hit the tree on a 5th degree. We don't pit for free. If you don't got 5 shit, get up and leave.